Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of She's Just a Mom. Now, granted, what I wanted to talk about today isn't technically like mom talk, but then again, I am a mom. So technically, anything that I talk about is mom talk. And I'm not going to lie, I read a book and I really want to share it with you guys because let me tell you, that book, it was like one of the best books I've ever read. And I'm surprised with myself at how good this book was. And I really want, and it's not like a popular book. That's the thing. It's not a popular book. So I'm excited to talk to this about you, and I just have to let it out. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you guys are bookworms, you definitely know you have like your little niche of books that you read. My niche, my lovely genre that I love to read are historical romance novels. Now, historical romance novels can be someone's cup of tea or someone's not cup of tea. Like they don't like to read stuff like that. But let me tell you, that's my jam. Okay. I love historical romance novels. And my favorite author is none other than Julie Garwood. Now, if you know who Julie Garwood is, please put it down in the comments because I feel like I'm the only person who really knows who Julie Garwood is. But Julie Garwood is usually a romance author, but she usually aims towards, at least from a lot of the books that I've read from hers, is historical romance novels. But she does have other ones as well, and some of them kind of go off of like a mystery. Like there was Mercy, there's a bunch of different ones, Killjoy, whatever. Like those are the names of her books. And let me tell you guys, I love those books. I love the way Julie Garwood writes. But I've always just loved the historical romance things, including when they have Highlanders in it, man. Oh my God, you hit Scotland? Oh, Lord of mercy. That is my favorite. I'm a huge Outlander fan, if you guys haven't noticed. But besides that, I decided that on Saturday, I finished my cleaning. It took all morning. My daughter was still asleep. It was about 3. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to read instead of watch YouTube videos. Because I've been trying to like keep away from watching YouTube all the time because it's been like a big destructive habit for me where all I want to do is sit down and watch. And I watch things that are like hours long. So of course I decided that I was going to read a book. I was going to sit down for an hour and read a book. Now, I say I'm a bookworm, but I'm like a legit bookworm. I have an heirloom, which is my library. I have over 130 books, 140 books. And unfortunately, they're all in bins because I do not live in this house. Well, I live in this house. I do not own this house. It's not mine. And I don't want to bring in a crap ton of books when there's nowhere to put them and just kind of be a nuisance here. So they're all in big black containers and they're all shoved into the garage, unfortunately. So I decided to go out and peek in and see if there was a book on top of the pile that I have not read yet. And believe it or not, there was one from Julie Garwood that I noticed that I have not read. I read the back of it, couldn't put any descriptions together. So I was like, you know what, I'll give a chance on it. The back description was not a historical romance novel. Okay. It was like saying things along the lines of FBI, stuff like that. So I was like, all right, you know what? It's a romance. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm just going to read this for an hour, maybe before bed, but yeah, I'll just go ahead and give this one a chance. And it's Julie Garwood, so I know I'm going to like it no matter what, because her writing style is like my favorite. It's easy, it's fun, and I don't feel like I have to like sit and really like decipher like crazy words that some authors use and the amount of detail they have to explain with everything that the character is doing and whatnot. It's not like that. She gives like the pieces that you need to know, fun bits, scary bits, thrilling bits, all this kind of crazy stuff. So I really love her writing. If you do not know who Julie Garwood is and you're a bookworm, you need to look at it. So of course I went and I picked up this book, which is called Heartbreaker by Julie Garwood. Now, if you see from the cover, not a lot going for it. Okay. It is like all orange. It has a cabin and a wheat field, but this is what it says. It says Heartbreaker by Julie Garwood. And obviously, you could probably tell that I picked it up and was like, oh, I haven't read it before. It just looks like, an ordinary book. Looked on the back of it, and it basically was like, yeah, there's a priest, 2 friends, his friend's in the FBI, and basically something's going to happen to the priest's sister. They're worried about it. So the FBI agent comes in and they like strike a romance. That's basically what the back of the book says. I'm not spoiling anything. So of course, what I decided to do was I was like, you know what? I'll give it a read. I'll just give it a read. I read that book all the way until 5:00 the next morning. I did not sleep at all because I was busy reading this book. Do you see how big this book is? I read all this book in a day. And I can't even say a day because I read it from when I went to bed at 9 all the way to 5:00 in the morning. This is a true bookworm. Okay, I'm a bookworm. But besides that, if you haven't read this book, you need to read it because it has funny stuff in it. It's about like this mystery of like trying to catch a serial killer that's going after this priest's sister. And it has so many funny bits in it. There's 2 senile neighbors that are hilarious. They're old ladies and they worship this dog that they have called Daddy. And it cracks me up. And on top of that, there's so many other funny things as well. Like the priest and the FBI agent who is his best friends, who is an FBI agent. And they're just all having fun. It's like the 4 of them. So I know that kind of sounded a little, like I have no idea what you're talking about. But the basic rundown is that a priest and an FBI agent were friends. They are friends. The FBI agent is basically a part of this whole group they call the Apostles, has a wonderful boss, and basically they track down missing kids. That's his line of work. But he's best friends with this priest. They went to college together and everything. And the priest isn't like super uptight. Like he's just a really fun priest. And the priest has a younger sister that the FBI agent friend never met, but I've seen photos of because they kind of grew up together. And the sister was like off in a country growing up. And basically the priest ends up being in a confession booth with this random stranger who's basically confessing that he's killed women and that he's enjoyed it, and basically like goes on a spiel of what he does. And then this confessioner, who we do not know who is, unfortunately is like just spewing all this crazy stuff that like he has his next target, and that he's like, please forgive me for I will sin. Like I'm going to murder this woman. And then he kind of exposes to the priest that like, you need to go to the police because I'm going to kill your sister. I know where she sleeps. I've watched her sleep and I know her routine and all this. Like your sister's my next target. And basically he's trying to play this game with the priest. Like he's trying to get him to go to the cops. Like he wants to be found almost. And he doesn't know, he knows everything about his sister, but he also knows everything about him and tells him, go call your FBI friend and stuff like that. And then the next thing you know, the priest bolts out of the confession booth. And then the guy basically smacks him over the head so he never knows what he looks like. And unfortunately, of course, the priest freaks out. He does call his FBI friend and they end up finding Lauren or Laurent. It's kind of a weird name. They end up finding her. And basically, they tell her that like she needs to be careful and like she needs to stay here because this crazy situation. And they end up finding out that the guy taped the conversation, left it for the priest. She listens to the tape, and next thing you know, they're trying to figure out, well, who is this serial killer? Is he going to kill her? She can't be alone by herself. And so the FBI friend and the girl end up being together because he needs to protect her because that is his best friend's sister and he knows how. So they're trying, it's like this whole book of like them having to be together. They're trying to figure out how to get this like serial killer basically out of it. They don't know who it is, and they're trying to like work together. And of course, like the priest is in with it, and then the FBI friend's other friend, Noah, who's an FBI agent, is in with it. And it's just like this weird situation where like things keep happening and you never know who the person is. And when you find out at the end of the book, let me tell you, I cannot believe it. When you find out at the end of the book, you would never have known. But there's one thing that tips the FBI agent, the friend, off, that he knows what it is. And I would have never guessed. I literally read that paragraph over and over, and I was like, okay, things on a table, what does he mean? And then I remember, and I'm like, oh my God. And you would never have known. It's like a whole twist, but the book is full of of fun. It's full of hilariousness and scariness. It's full of mystery. And yes, it's full of romance. And yeah, some parts are cheesy. Okay. You can't make a historical romance novel or just a romance novel in general without being cheesy. Okay. But let me tell you, best book of my life. Love it. Read it. Heartbreaker by Julie Garwood. Now, of course, that's basically my whole spiel with it. But I literally read that book from 3 p.m. on Saturday to 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So that was crazy. But basically, that is me on my spiel of this book. And just because this is a mom kind of thing, I do want to let you guys know that there are books for toddlers. I don't know if you know this, but my daughter, for some reason, loves to tear up books. And she loves books. She loves to play with them, go through them. She sees me read, and she wants to play with her own books. So I ended up getting her those cardboard books, that they're hard. The pages are just basically cardboard, and she destroys them. For instance, this is her bunny book, and this bunny book is literally like hanging on by a thread. She's ripped it up. The pages are all done for. And this is what every single book of this looks like. Now, you would think that this book would have held up better, but my daughter is like Godzilla. Okay, she loves playing with things. She gets so excited, and she does things like bend the pages backwards and all the kind of fun stuff. So as much as I love these kind of books, my daughter will rip them apart, So I want to recommend you guys a book for toddlers, because my sister gifted me a book, and it's called, I think, Indestructibles. So let me go ahead and grab this. So this is an Indestructible, the original. Now you might be looking at this book and being like, oh, it's what kind of book is that? But they're for toddlers. They're books that like babies can gum on. And my daughter has tried ripping this apart and everything, but let me tell you, she cannot. And this is the best book ever. She wrinkles it, she throws it, you can roll this up, put it in your purse or something, and it's basically brand new. You can do things like, if there's food on it, you can wash it, you could, basically do anything. It's chew-proof, rip-proof, non-toxic, and 100% washable. So this is what the little thing is right there. It is the original Indestructibles. So if you are looking for a book because your toddler is like mine and decides to rip pages out, bend the books backward, ruin them, and next thing you know, you have to throw it away, definitely get these ones, because there are a few other ones that I have, and there's different ones you can buy. We have the Itsy Bitsy Spider. This is Baby Animals. And there's, I Love You Baby, stuff like that. So if you are looking for a toddler book, definitely go check that out. And besides that, that's basically all it for this video. But besides that, that is me. That was what has happened recently. And if you guys are a bookworm, who are your favorite authors? And if you know who Julie Garwood is, oh my God, please let me know, because I love Julie Garwood so much. She's my favorite. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope I hear from you guys in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like a little bit of mom life, a little bit of me life, someone else's life, all that kind of stuff, because we're going to be talking about lots of things on this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!